Tesla is now more profitable than Ford and GM. April 30, 2022. Tesla may be the rising star of America's automotive sector. But for the longest time, Detroit giants General Motors and Ford have held significant advantages over their younger rival. Ford and GM still tend to deliver far more vehicles per quarter than Tesla. And they also tend to earn more money than the EV maker. The latter is no longer true. During the first quarter, Tesla reported a net income of $3.31 billion, representing a year-over-year increase of 658%. In Q1 2021, Tesla earned $438 million. In comparison, GM posted a net profit of $2.93 billion in the first quarter, a 3.04% year-over-year decrease. Ford, despite the success of vehicles like the Mustang Mach-E and the strength of its F-Series, posted a net loss of $3.1 billion in Q1 2022. Partly due to its investment in electric truck maker Rivian, Tesla already dominates its American-born peers in the automotive sector in terms of market cap, with the company currently being valued at over $900 billion. And that's after a substantial dip that's likely aggravated by CEO Elon Musk's recent Tesla sell-off. General Motors currently has a market cap of $56.57 billion, while Ford is currently valued at $59.24 billion. It should be noted that Ford and GM still delivered far more cars than Tesla in the first quarter. The EV maker announced that it had delivered 310,048 cars in Q1 2022, which is still far behind Ford's 970,000 and GM's 1.427 million. Despite delivering less cars, Tesla still made more money than its more experienced Detroit-based rivals. According to The Street, Tesla was able to accomplish this due to a variety of factors. One of these is the company's adjusted EBITDA margin in Q1 2022, which increased to 26.8% in the first quarter from 17.7% last year. GM's adjusted EBIT margin was at 11.2% in the first quarter, while Ford posted an adjusted EBIT margin of 6.7%. Tesla seems to have accomplished this through a variety of novel strategies. Arguably one of these is the company's savings on traditional advertisements. Tesla spends $0 on ads, relying instead on word of mouth and CEO Elon Musk's online presence on Twitter to spread its brand image. Both Ford and GM are big ad spenders, with the latter spending $2.22 billion in advertisements in 2020, according to Statista. With Tesla now taking the crown of most profitable American automaker, there are only a couple more titles left for the EV company to claim. One involves the number of vehicles produced and delivered per year, and another is revenue. Vehicle deliveries and production may still take some time as Tesla only has 4 working EV factories today. But in terms of revenue, the electric car maker may be getting a shot sooner than expected. In the first quarter, GM's revenue was listed at $35.98 billion, while Ford posted $34.48 billion. Tesla's Q1 2022 revenue was listed at $18.76 billion. Source reposted and summarized from Simon Alvarez at Tesla RT. My take: you think it's good now for Tesla. Fast forward 1 year and see how great it is. Tesla Giga Berlin held a Girls' Day. April 30, 2022. Tesla Giga Berlin held a Girls' Day to encourage girls to think about tech careers. Schoolgirls from the region, aged 13 to 18, visited the factory, where they got exclusive insight into the day-to-day work of an electric vehicle factory to consider working in the technology and automotive fields. In order to break any stereotypes that the tech and automotive industries are not for women, Tesla is making a real effort. The Texas manufacturer invited schoolgirls from the region to look at the work of their employees and give an understanding that the auto industry is no longer a male field of work. On Thursday, about 60 schoolgirls aged 13 to 18 visited Giga Berlin for Girls' Day. According to RBB24, Tesla took part in the 20th Future Day, which was held in Brandenburg. 405 businesses in the state have opened their doors to schoolchildren, and Tesla has become one of them. According to the Brandenburg Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports, about 4,300 schoolchildren took the opportunity to look behind the scenes. However, Tesla made a special gesture and invited girls only. students from the private schools Dosimus in Grunheide, Blumenberg-Barnum and Neu-Zittau, as well as the Albert Schweitzer gymnasiums in Eisenhüttenstadt and the European School in Fürstenwald visited Giga Berlin. It was like a small town, said Ulrich Donat, who accompanied the students. Factory representatives greeted the visitors and showed a video showing the various stages of car production at Giga Berlin. In addition, the girls were able to observe the work of female employees in order to gain an understanding that the distribution of work at Tesla is not based on gender. Young women engineers, mathematicians, and chemists from the Tesla team talked about working in their field and discussed what it means to work as a woman in the automotive industry. During the presentations, the schoolgirls listened with great interest and asked questions. Each thematic station, in addition to verbal information, also had a practical part. In electronics, the goal was to solder LEDs on printed circuit boards and understand the structure of electrical circuits. In stamping, the girls were engaged in metal processing. They made small keychains for themselves. The girls also learned about the function of the battery, which was explained with the help of lemons. In the design section, work was illustrated with a 3D printer. In the paint shop, the girls had a lot of fun. Because, in addition to information about corrosion protection, waterproofing, and quality assessment, they were allowed to spray Tesla doors with spray cans. Most schoolgirls still have no idea what direction they want to go in. Donat said, but that's exactly what the event is all about, showing new perspectives and pushing the boundaries of what girls can achieve. Before the girls build up an unnecessary shyness. They can watch it here. Then they just notice live that it makes no difference whether it's a man or a woman. She continued. Source reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. My take: Tesla is trying to encourage the next generation of engineers by getting them interested nice and early. Turo host discovers his Tesla Model 3 being taken apart in warehouse. April 30, 2022. A Tesla owner who rents his Model 3 out on Turo has a cautionary tale for other users of the car-sharing platform after discovering his Model 3, which was supposed to be on a road trip, was instead being taken apart in a nearby warehouse. Frank Valdez, who is a realtor and investor according to his TikTok profile, was apparently tracking his Model 3 through the mobile app. After noticing it was parked inside a warehouse, Valdez activated Sentry mode and used the live camera access to notice something wasn't right with the situation. That's when he decided to drive to the location to see what was going on. And upon pulling up, noticed his Model 3 on jacks and missing its front bumper. Despite claiming in the video the renter was trying to steal parts from his car, it appears Valdez's Model 3 was instead being used to test fit an aftermarket bumper, as apparently the renter owns a website that sells Tesla and exotic car parts. Fortunately, there was no apparent damage to his vehicle, and Valdez was able to get it back later that day, after it was put back together. Valdez does say he is going to call the police, but the video doesn't show if they showed up, or if there were any consequences for the Turo renter. If you rent your Tesla out on a car-sharing platform, it might be a good idea from now on to check in it every now and then, and pay for premium connectivity so you can use the live camera access to see what's going on. Source reposted and summarized from Darren John at Drive Tesla Canada. My take: renter, be aware. There are some crazy people out there. Tesla cars rank in top 10 fastest selling used cars. April 30, 2022. All Tesla vehicles ranked in the top 10 fastest selling used vehicles in the U.S. in March 2022. As demand for electric vehicles from the Texas-based manufacturer continues to exceed supply, this trend will continue. iSeeCars.com conducted research on the U.S. used car market in March 2022 and identified the fastest-selling cars. Inflation and high gasoline prices have been observed to have a significant impact on used car sales. Supply chain issues and the impact of the Russian invasion in Ukraine further aggravated the market. While used car prices saw slight declines in March over February, they are still well above average. While other economic factors like inflation and high gasoline prices slowed the demand for used cars during what is typically a high-volume sales month, said iSeeCars executive analyst Carl Brauer. Inventory constraints have persisted for new cars due to supply chain issues in Asia and Europe, and the new car market is struggling to keep up with pent-up demand. After analyzing over 150,000 new and used vehicles sold in March 2022 in the US, iSeeCars.com found that it takes an average of 52.9 days to sell a used car. At the same time, used car sales took longer in March than in February, when sales took 49.4 days. In general, the used car market was dominated by electric vehicles. The fastest-selling used car last month was Tesla Model X, which sold in just 28 days on average, while the resale value averaged $90,406. It was joined by other models of the manufacturer, which are available on the market today. The earliest delivery time for a new Tesla Model X is December 2022 for the base model and August 2022 for the high-performance Plaid version, which is further elevating the demand for the used versions. Said Brower, Tesla Model Y is in fourth place, with an average resale rate of 29.5 days. Model S is in 7th place with an average resale rate of 34.4 days. Model 3 is in 8th place with an average resale rate of 34.7 days. Thus, all four models of the manufacturer were in the top 10, which only emphasizes their incredible popularity, as demand for Tesla vehicles continues to outstrip supply. All of the Texas manufacturer's vehicle models quickly find new owners in the used car market. All Tesla vehicles have long waitlists for their new versions, and used versions of the highly anticipated Tesla Model Y are just entering the used car marketplace. Said Brower. Source reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. My take: it's amazing just how fast these changes are taking place in the car markets.